Tyreek Hill reveals Mike McDaniel's true feelings after HC blamed Tua Tagovailoa. If Mike McDaniel had one chance to clap back at the crowdsourced banner carrying Fire McDaniel, Thursday Night Football was the day. He'd tell the team it did not matter if it was 0-2 or 2-0 entering Week 3. Their single goal was to reverse the course against the charged Buffalo Bills in the nationally televised game. The Dolphins needed it. The HC needed it. McDaniel has landed far away from being a guy who led the Dolphins to 20 wins in his first 33 games. Today, he's a coach who struggles against good teams, who can't win on the road, and whom the bookies are betting on to get fired this season. A win against the Bills would have been an answer to every doubt. But come Thursday night, it remains a would have been. Sean McDermott's squad surged ahead for a 3-0 start to the season, leaving the Finns reeling with a 31-21 loss. How did McDaniel take that? His piss was hot, Tyreek Hill revealed in the post-game presser. A reporter had asked the WR how the head coach had reacted after a third straight loss in the season, while the pressure built. Hill's admission was no exaggeration. Entering 2025, McDaniel boasted a 3-14 record against the winning teams. Further, with players such as Jalen Ramsey and Jevon Holland removed, the Dolphins looked like a team with limited ceiling. Where team owner Stephen Ross once uttered Super Bowl, the expectations remained rather bleak for McDaniel's fourth season in Miami. The coach's only option remains to go big before the front office starts hearing the crowd. Just before Sunday's game at Hard Rock, a small rocket flew overhead with a banner asking for McDaniel to be replaced. So yes, the coach has a fire lit under him. But while the memories of the 70-point win over the Broncos may have begun to fade, and the McGenius questioned, Hill hasn't given up on his coach just yet. To see how he coached, and to see how he led me today, was a beautiful thing, he added in the same press conference. The Dolphins had their moments in Thursday's loss. Bills' offense may have been efficient, but Miami did not let them dominate. With just 3:06 minutes in the fourth quarter, Tua Tagovailoa and company even had the chance to tie the game. But that's where the disaster struck. Mike McDaniel addresses the mistake that proved costly. On 1st and 10, with the scorecard reading 21-28 in Bills' favor, Tagovailoa tried to find Hill's fellow WR Jalen Waddle with the ball, but LB Terrell Bernard came out of nowhere to intercept the pass. It was a play that looked eerily familiar. It was the QB's third straight game with at least one interception. This one, however, helped the Bills capitalize with a 48-yard field goal, and the Finns never recovered. While many were ready to lay all the blame on the QB, McDaniel wasn't having it. Not really. I wanted to protect the ball, and I think the quarterback has to be responsible for it, McDaniel said of the crucial interception. However, I wish I could just put it on him. It's a tough job to do when there's someone in your face. Everybody needs to do better. This was the coach admitting his frustration, a sort of desperate, yet communal, acknowledgement that the team's struggles were a hydra with many heads. But here's the thing. The Finns are not willing to lay down arms just yet. According to Hill, the team was motivated. Do you want to be remembered for throwing in the towel? Hill mused, adding, or do you want to be remembered as the team that started 0-3 and turned it around? Hill's words hint at a collective desire to pull out of this nosedive. The Finns showed that kind of fight, tying the game at 21-21 on a Tyreek Hill touchdown, a 5-yard Tagovailoa catch where he beat Christian Benford. The defense, which had looked completely outmatched at times in the first half, particularly against James Cook, who finished with 108 yards on the ground, stiffened after the break, forcing 2 punts. Yet, despite the flashes of brilliance, they couldn't get it done. The team's time of possession was 28-13, compared to Buffalo's 31-47, which meant fewer opportunities for the offense to get on the field and score. In the end, it was a battle against a team, and perhaps against themselves. The season is still young, and the Finns have a chance to turn it around, but the feeling of falling short, of being so close, is the kind of thing that can eat at a team from the inside. When a season teeters on the edge, it's rarely just about schemes, stats, or playbooks. It becomes about people, their emotions, frustrations, and the invisible ties binding a locker room together. That's why Tyreek Hill's recent comments pulled back the curtain on one of the NFL's most intriguing storylines. What Mike McDaniel really thinks about his quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, after a rough stretch of play sparked criticism and headlines. The Miami Dolphins, once again dazzling the league with speed and explosiveness, stumbled when mistakes mounted. A costly interception, a blown read, and suddenly, whispers about accountability became shouts. After a particularly disappointing post-game presser, head coach Mike McDaniel appeared to place blame at the feet of Tua, his franchise quarterback, his chosen field general, the man he once championed as the reason I came to Miami. The football world gasped. Was McDaniel, the genius play caller with the quirky press conference jokes and nerdy charisma, starting to sour on Tua? Was this the beginning of the fissure every rival fanbase secretly hoped for? That's when Tyreek Hill stepped in. The cheetah speaks. Hill, never one to mince words, has become both wide receiver and unofficial hype man for the Dolphins locker room. His support of Tua has been unwavering, whether on social media, on his podcast, or in interviews. So when asked about McDaniel's comments, Hill didn't just defend his quarterback. He revealed something deeper. Coach McDaniel got love for Tua that y'all don't even see, Hill said. When he holds him accountable, it ain't about throwing shade or blame. It's about belief. He wouldn't push Tua that way if he didn't think he was that dude. It was a reframing. What looked like criticism from the outside, Hill painted as tough love from within. McDaniel wasn't scapegoating Tua. He was challenging him, sharpening him, and reminding him of the standard the Dolphins believe they can reach. Coach got a vision, Hill continued. He sees Tua as part of that championship vision. So when he talks about mistakes, he ain't pushing Tua down, he's pulling him higher. The fine line between blame and belief. In the NFL, words weigh heavy. A coach's post-game remark can ripple across ESPN ticker lines, spark debate shows, and feed social media storms. McDaniel's critique of Tua was parsed like scripture. But Hill's revelation underscores a truth players often know better than fans. Behind closed doors, tone matters more than text. Was McDaniel frustrated? Sure. Was he calling out his quarterback in a moment of honesty? Absolutely. But according to Hill, those moments aren't rooted in doubt, they're born from faith. He trusts Tua, Hill emphasized. If he didn't, he wouldn't be in that film room breaking it down with him. He wouldn't be dialing up plays built for his strengths. He wouldn't be standing up for him when it really matters. That's real.